You're watching HNN.
Good morning, Huskies.
Welcome back to the highlight of your Fridays, HNN.
I'm Summer.
And I'm Christina. And contrary to popular belief,
we are not the same person.
Juniors and seniors have been hard at work practicing and choreographing for this year's Powder Puff game on November 18th.
Hey, speaking of Powder Puff, here's Mia with a behind-the-scenes look at the ongoing Powder Puff practices.
The biggest struggle I've had with coaching Powder Puff, I would say, is all the girls knew nothing about football, and you had to teach them from scratch. And it was pretty hard at first, but they're starting to get the hang of it. And I would say my favorite thing about coaching Powder Puff was the transition of being a player to a coach, and getting to experience of I grew up with my dad, and he coached me, and I got to experience what being coached was like.
There hasn't been many challenges this year. I mean, maybe catching, so you don't really throw it too much with the girls. We're kind of incorporating the Mount Hope football play types into the offense right now, and the defense is pretty similar as well. I mean, they're pretty good. I mean, the attendance has been a little bit of an issue, but I would say you kind of get more of time. You get to teach them something that they've never learned. We play all day, we play all week, 6 days a week, so we get to teach kind of what we learn throughout the football season. We get to show them how to do it, and kind of a bonding activity. You get to be with all your friends.
Thanks, Mia.
That reminds me, it's time for next week's weather. So on Saturday, it's going to be sunny, oh yeah, with a high of 62 and a low of 40. On Sunday, it's going to be mostly sunny, with a high of 63 and a low of 44. On Monday, it's going to be a little cloudy, but we'll still have a high of 59. On Tuesday and Wednesday, it's going to be mostly sunny and around the high 50s to 60s. And then on Thursday and Friday, womp womp, it's going to be raining. On Thursday with a high of 56, and on Friday, a high of 55.
It's time for a wonderful ad break from the captain of the Mount Hope esports team, Jason Douglas.
In terms of competitive environments, esports is one that doesn't get much attention compared to other big sports like football or basketball, but it can also be a friendly environment to play games with others. To prove this, in the 2021-22 school year, Mount Hope High School had made their own esports team after being pitched the idea from a couple students who came here at the time. Hear from our librarian, Ms. Cabral, who was the original coach for the team.
So back in September 2021, seniors Jacob Perry and Brandon Nelson were super committed to starting an esports club at Mount Hope High School. The Rhode Island Interscholastic League had just recently recognized esports as a sport within the Interscholastic League, and they had been trying to get the program off the ground for a year or so, but due to a number of issues, they weren't able to get the program started. So that's where Dr. DiBiase and I sat down. We saw the opportunity linking our program to Rogers Free Library. We saw the opportunity where students could apply for a community grant where Rogers Free Library would fund the program for us, and students would be able to play at Rogers Free Library with the technology and the equipment that they needed to have a successful program.
Since the team has to compete with the other schools in the region or district, they need a spot to comfortably play these games, which is where the Rogers Free Library in Bristol comes into play. Their new coach, Sarah Griffin, actually works here to help these students accomplish their goals for participating here that she and Ms. Cabral also wanted them to achieve.
My initial goals for the esports program was mainly to get students engaged in the program. So what we had found is the students that gravitate towards esports, which is competitive video gaming, are students that not typically engaged in other traditional sports here at school. So to me, I felt it was really important to reach these other students, to give them a connection to the school and give them an opportunity to shine at something that they're passionate about. And due to the nature of esports and the competitive nature of online gaming, there's so many skills involved with collaboration and problem solving that I just thought it was an absolute wonderful opportunity to get our students engaged in a growing industry where students from other high schools are getting full scholarships to schools to play esport team games like Madden, Rocket League, and things like that. So just to open more doors for more students at Mount Hope, really my main goal in its first year.
So my goal for the Mount Hope High School esports team is to win playoffs. That's my major goal. My smaller goal is to make sure everyone has a good time, learn how to play these games, learn how to play them competitively, and then potentially make a career out of it one day.
Like normal sports seasons, the team changes what games they play each season. For example, the students compete in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate during the fall and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe for the winter. Because of the changes in games, different students have different preferences on which ones they play. The students have a great time coming here to play games or practice with their teammates on Tuesdays and go up against other schools on Wednesdays. Sometimes the team also shows up for events planned by their coach to hang out more with the friends they make here. There are still some errors that occur here and there, but this team is still deep into development to try to make this a better team for upcoming or current Mount Hope High School students so they can come and play video games competitively. And we hope that someday we'll gain more support from the school and make this team the new talk of the town.
Thanks, Jason.
Hey, Christina. Speaking of sports, get ready for the eventful next episode of Gion's Hopeful Highlights.
Welcome back to Hopeful Highlights. I am Gianfranco. I'm here to cover what's been happening lately with the school sports. And let's talk about the past couple of weeks. First up is boys soccer versus St. Ray's on November 1st, which was a battle. Game ended 2-2, but had to be decided in PK. Sadly, the Huskies lost 4-3. Girls went against Cumberland for the first round of playoffs and swept them 3 sets in a row. Good job. But sadly, next round they went against Middletown and lost 3-1. With Middletown winning 2 sets in a row and Huskies taking 1, but next set was taken by Middletown. Boys football on November 1st, it was senior night for them against North Providence at home. They won 14-6. Offense had a great game with 330. Rushing had 284, with JJ leading again with 120 on 19 carries, averaging 6.3 per carry and 1 touchdown. Great job. Another shout out is Rocco with 80 yards with 5 carries, average of 16 per carry with 1 touchdown. Passing, Ethan Martell threw for 48 yards on 6 for 8, which is 75%. And defense had a great night with Brendan Perry with 1 interception of a return of 31 yards and Robert Annis for 1 sack. Next game was the first round of championship round for D3 football at Rogers, but sadly the game did not go as expected for the Huskies. They lost 29-19. But on the bright side, the Huskies do have a positive record of 6-3. The next game is on Thanksgiving versus Barrington at 10. Make sure you show up and support the Huskies for the last game of the season and hopefully improve the record to 7-3. Another thing, if you want to play winter sports, don't forget, time is running out for the signups. Make sure you go and ask your parent to sign you up for winter sports. Another shout out for all the teams that made the playoffs this year. I know it didn't go our way, but we're all here to say we're all proud of you guys for all the hard work and efforts that you guys did. And thank you for all the seniors for all the efforts you guys did and leadership to the younger players. But remember, if you're not graduating this year, you have next year. So I'm Gianfranco, this is Hopeful Highlights, and make sure you tune in next time.
Thanks, Gian. Finally, a break from all this sports.
The Spikeball tournament, hosted by the class of 2027, has been rescheduled to November 19th at 3 p.m. It is held at the lacrosse field and winners will receive a cash prize.
On Wednesday, everyone should have received their own Yonder pouch, which is now your responsibility. Monday 18th is the first day we'll be using them.
Miss Estrella is looking for Stop and Shop gift cards for families in need this Thanksgiving. You can drop them off in her room, the nurse's office. November 27th, there will be a fundraiser for our class, the class of 2025, at Chipotle. Make sure to put it on your schedule. That's all for now, folks. Tune in next Friday to see the next episode of Bo's Husky Munch. And much more. Thank you so much for watching, and remember, Huskies, have a wonderful weekend.
HNN.